Can you walk us through how things go in a draft room where you'd think Green Bay would draft a receiver in the deepest wide receiver draft possible, certainly after what happened on Thursday night, and yet they come away with nothing? How does that happen?
Well, it's interesting how you look at it. I was just talking with Bucky about this on the podcast, which was he was saying that for his image from the 49er game, right, where they got clobbered by the Niners, was the Niners running the ball down their throats. And he came away from that thinking, okay, well, they want to be more physical, so that's why they drafted the big back, Dylan from Boston College. That's why they made the picks that they made on the defensive side of the ball. Everything they did to him was about trying to be more physical with San Francisco. And I left that game, Rich, thinking they have to get Aaron Rodgers some more firepower. Like, they can't compete with these top teams to win the ultimate prize unless they have more weapons. And they obviously did not look at it that way. So that was that was a little bit of a disconnect there. The quarterback thing, I understand that from an organizational decision. If you were huge Jordan Love fans and you feel like he could be the quarterback for the next 15 years, that's the long view decision, and that's where you say, okay, the general manager has the control, because the head coach, if the head coach had control, they're normally thinking about next year. This was not a next year decision. This was a next 15-year decision. So that's kind of how that goes down in the room.
I understand that, I guess. But what about not calling Rodgers? Again, we had Ryan Wood, the Green Bay Press-Gazette beat writer for the Packers on the show in our first hour, and he confirmed that they did not give him a heads up that it was coming. How does that happen, Daniel?
Well, the Bears can one-up them on that, though. They don't even have the best story in the division. When they had they had Glennon, right? They had Glennon at like a fan event when they picked Trubisky.
I know.
Communicated very well.
No, and Flacco was at a fan event, right, when Lamar Jackson got picked or something like that,
yeah.
And I understand that, but
I don't think these things. I'm with you. To me,
but this is Aaron Rodgers we're talking about here.
I would give a heads up. It's Aaron Rodgers. It's a different level. I'm with you on that. If it was me in that situation, I would have had a conversation with him, a little bit ahead of time. Not like you're on the clock, but just, hey, if there's a certain situation with a particular quarterback is there at the end of the first round, we have to look after the long-term health of this organization. I'm not saying we're going to pick him, Aaron, but I just want you to hear from us that if there's a particular player there, we would consider taking him, and I don't want you to be blindsided by that. You can have that conversation with him, a month before the draft if you want to, but at least you've laid some type of groundwork, some type of communication there with him.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.